Good evening. My name's Chris Howell, and I'm the. I'll just get a picture. Hello, I'm Chris Howell, and I'm the head of business systems at Gatwick Airport. And what that basically means is I get to look after all the software at the airport, which is quite a fun little job. And when asked to kind of come down and talk to you guys about the Internet of Place and how it related to Gatwick Airport, I spent a bit of time reading the Guardian article and actually thinking about where does the Internet of Things actually kind of, and how does it mean to me? And I think what I'm going to try and get across to you in the next 10 minutes is how, there is only one me, and I spend a lot of time at Gatwick Airport, which is one location, but actually there are many, many places for me in that one location. But first, I'd just like to start with a bit of information about Gatwick, which, broadly, there are some key facts about Gatwick, but what I'm trying to get to explain there is that it's a really fascinating place to work. I spent 14 years in digital multi-channel retail at Tesco.com, Dixon's, Marks and Spencer's, and the airport is wonderful because we see our passengers every day, and I don't know, for any of you that work in technology, it's really rare that you're able to walk downstairs and see people use the stuff you've built, interact with the services that you've created. And it's a really wonderful environment for a technologist to work. It's also a huge amount of variety. We've got a logistics operation that moves bags, but it's very, very similar to the way that logistics and fulfillment works at any retailer. We have a shopping mall. We have an enormous amount of interaction with our passengers, and we also have some planes take off and land, and for you to go on holiday. But what that does mean is it gives us access to people in different contexts, in different times, and different challenges for us. Because actually, when you go through an airport, often you might think you're the airline's customer, and the airlines definitely think you're their customer. But we're providing you a service, and we want to make sure you have the most wonderful experience when you're coming through our place of work and as you go on to work or your holiday. We also have 23,000 people, so it's a bit like a small city. So it gives us the opportunity to trial things in different environments quite quickly. It's also one campus, so unlike a retailer where there's 750, 800, 1,000 stores, actually we've only got to put the innovation kit in one place, which means that we can get to results a lot faster. So this is my Gatwick. And when I get to Gatwick, and I've only got 3 pictures because the fourth one was censored by our PR department. But sometimes I'm at work, right? So that's my badge in the top left-hand corner, and I'm at work and I'm doing my job as kind of the head of business systems. Sometimes I'm flying through there on a business trip. Sometimes I'm there with my wife. That's her. Thankfully, it's blurred enough that I didn't need to get her permission to share her image with you this evening. But we're going away on holiday. The fourth image would be when we went through Gatwick Airport on my stag do, and that really wasn't suitable for public congestion. But for me, I want different things when I'm in there when I'm at work. I want to know how the airport's performing. Actually, what is our on-time departures? How are passengers feeling about the quality of the service they're getting? And what does our revenue look like in the departure lounge at that time? When I'm going through on business, I do want to know how fast and how long I've got to get on my plane, because actually I don't want to waste any time. And then when I'm going on holiday, I do want to know where the best deal is if I'm going to do a little bit of shopping beforehand. And for those of you with families, certainly one of the things that we would love to be able to do is provide a really rich, certainly digital experience for children aged between 8 and 13. Because actually, in an airport, there are less and less windows. So you can't excite people anymore watching a plane take off and land. Parents have got we're proud of our retail experience. It's really good. But if you're aged somewhere between 8 and 13, actually, you've only got so much power on your tablet or your smartphone, and therefore you might want to save that for the flight. How do we engage? How do we make that a wonderful experience for them as they're waiting in that 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours before they fly off to their next generation? And that's where we and that's where we ended up getting excited about what the digital Catapult and the University of Brighton and some other opportunities kind of gave us. So we've made quite a lot of our operational information available through an API. So you can know in real time what's going on in the airport. What gate is a plane flying from? How long are the queues at check-in? If there are any queues, we don't want that. But actually, how do we take that data and make your experience in our airport much, much better. And that's why we're really excited about what we're going to be able to do in conjunction with the Digital Catapult. And hopefully, our data, alongside all of those other big data sources that Gillian mentioned, which I'm not aware of everything I could be doing. We had a student from Brighton University came in last year, and he had a great idea. We didn't have quite enough data to kind of bring it to life, but it was a really good trial, and that was about if you are allergic to wheat or you've got certain food allergies, a lot of restaurants don't have a menu which helps you work through all of your allergens. And he was going to take our location-specific data to know what restaurant you were in and then help you get your personal menu. And that was really neat, but we just couldn't quite pull it off. And we think that there are many hundreds of ideas that should be considered that we'll be able to take forward. And we're just really excited about where that could go. So hopefully there's some great ideas in the room, and through the Catapult, we'll turn those into kind of real products that we can use in the airport for our passengers. And that's all from me.